you have a couple of alkyl groups on both sides. If it were a linear molecule, I totally understand the nonpolarity, of course, because the symmetrical charges on either side, but it's not linear. 109.5 degree bond angle on that sucker, just like water. So the oxygen is out there a little bit at the corner of the triangle. But still, with alkyl groups on either side, even though it's not a 180 degree, it's 109.5 degree, it turns out that they are quite nonpolar. You know, less polar than I would have predicted based on structure geometry. But I can have an idea in my head, and I can have observations in the laboratory, and it's observations in the laboratory always trump ideas in your head. The ideas in your head have to change to match observations in the laboratory. You can't change what goes on in the laboratory to conform to the idea in your head. So whether I like it or not, ethers are very nonpolar. And that governs their physical properties. Okay. Let's talk about making ethers. It is very useful to think of making ethers notice I said useful to think in this term. These terms. As sort of an intermolecular dehydration reaction. If we took a couple of alcohols, kick out a molecule of water, rejoin the parts, we've got an ether. And yes, you can make ethers this way, but it's difficult. But it's very useful to think in these terms. Those of you with a biochemistry course in your future, which is just about all of you, it is very useful to think of molecules that have OH groups, regardless of where they come from, alcohol, carboxylic acid, other things, coming together, kicking out a molecule of water, rejoining the parts. It happens all the time in biology. So very useful to think in these terms. If, however, you really want to make an ether in the laboratory, you're not going to throw a couple of alcohols in a test tube and come out with an ether. You can, if you acidify, heat it up, force the issue, you can get some ether out of the deal. But it is not a good way to make ethers. In your body, a couple of alcohols can come together and make an ether. It happens all the time. Two things with OHs, again, whether they're part of an alcohol or something else, come together, kick out a molecule of water, join the parts. It happens all the time in your body. Why is it that it can happen in your body, but very difficult to do in a test tube? Okay, enzymes, very good. Turns out to be proteins, exactly. That's another general question that is worth just being aware of. For those of you with a biochemistry course in your future, which is just about all of you, the answer to the question, why is it that such and such a reaction does not occur in a test tube very well, but does occur in your body quite well? The answer to that question is always going to be because you have the appropriate enzyme to make it happen. Now you might be thinking, well, can't we extract that enzyme out of the biological tissue and throw it in the laboratory? The answer to that question is yes, we can, but typically very expensively. So if there's a way of getting around having to have the appropriate enzyme, that's the way to go. And yes, there is. We can make ethers easily in the laboratory, but not that way. We make them via the Williamson synthesis. And that's a guy named Smith. In the Williamson synthesis, we take an alkyl halide, reacted with an alkoxide ion, what kind of reaction is going to ensue? One word answer. Substitution. Yes, yes. It's standard substitution. Halide is the leaving group. That's the Williamson synthesis. Very simple reaction. Just straightforward nucleophilic substitution. You shouldn't get your name associated with something so simple. Unless it happens to be the first time in the history of humanity that anyone has shown how to easily make ethers in a laboratory. The Williamson synthesis works well with primary alkyl halides. It can work okay with secondary alkyl halides. It doesn't work for diddly with tertiary alkyl halides. Why does it not work with tertiary alkyl halides? And remember, I can get your 261 grade changed. Okay, steric hindrance. So what will happen if it's a tertiary alkyl halide? You throw an alkoxide ion at it. Elimination. It'd be elimination. Now with primary alkyl halides, lack of steric hindrance, we get the SN2 reaction, nucleophilic substitution. With tertiary alkyl halides, because of this steric hindrance, substitution is highly unlikely. We're going to get primarily the E2 reaction, elimination. Secondary alkyl halide can go both ways. So we will get some substitution with those guys. Okay. There's nothing magical about using an alkyl halide here. What's the purpose of the halide? Just a good leaving group. You know, we want nucleophilic substitution. So here's our nucleophile. Here we have an alkyl group with a good leaving group attached. So anything with a good leaving group is going to be a winner here. Could we use, say, an alcohol under acidic conditions? Could we protonate an alcohol? How would that work? Absolutely not. Why not? We could not use a protonated alcohol here.
It would get rid of the oxygen along with it, like so.
Yeah, not get rid of it necessarily, but it would protonate the alkoxide ion.
Yeah.
We need an alkoxide ion as a nucleophile under acidic conditions. That's going to be protonated. And all of a sudden you don't have such a hot nucleophile anymore. So no. Does that mean we can't use an alcohol? Of course we can use an alcohol. We just can't protonate it, that's all. So we would have to Did anybody attend class on, I don't know, Monday of this week?
So that's today. It would have to be in basics.
Okay, or neutral.
Or straight.
What was the question?
We just said we can't use a protonated alcohol because that would protonate our nucleophile, render it no good. But does that mean we can't use an alcohol at all as a starting material? No, it doesn't mean that, which means yes, we can use an alcohol as our starting material. But before we reacted with alkoxide, we would have to,
We do like,
They can have
we can't protonate it, that would protonate the, well, if we deprotonate it, we'd be back with alcohol, crappy leaving group, can't do that. Hey, I'm serious, people.
What does it start with? What's the letter?
I really wanna know, if anybody attended class on Monday of this week?
methylates and,
Yes, yeah,
okay.
converted into a mesylate or a tosylate. We could take the alcohol, react it with mesyl chloride, or react it with tosyl chloride to get the mesylate or tosylate. Now we have a good leaving group that did not require acidic conditions, we're good to go. So the classic Williams synthesis is an alkyl halide with an alkoxide on it, and SN2 reaction. But what we really have here, I mean, the value of this is we have a good leaving group bonded to an alkyl group. We could not use an alcohol under acidic conditions because we can't risk protonating our nucleophile. But we could take an alcohol, convert it into a mesylate or a tosylate. Now we have something with a good leaving group that does not require acidic conditions, so we can use it in the way Okay. So that's how you make ethers. Reactions of ethers.